Today, the consumer has become the master and the marketer has become his servant. The approach, caveat emptor, which means let the buyer beware, has changed to the approach, caveat venditor, which means let the seller beware. Consumer has become the king in the market. This chapter concentrates on understanding consumer protection, consumers' rights and responsibilities, availability of remedies, and existence of various governmental and non-governmental organizations. Let us discuss consumer protection and its importance, legal protection to consumer, ways and means of consumer protection, Consumer Protection Act, and redressal forums to deal with consumer grievances. Concept of consumer protection. Consumer protection aims at providing protection to consumers against unfair trade practices, educating consumers about their rights and responsibilities, providing quick and cheap redressal of their grievances, and creating consumer awareness. Importance of consumer protection for consumers. These include consumer ignorance, unorganized consumers, and widespread exploitation of consumers. Importance of consumer protection for businessmen. These include long-term interest of business, businessmen use society's resources, social responsibilities, moral and ethical justification, government intervention, and consumer is the purpose of business. Legal protection to consumers. Government of India has provided various laws and legislations to protect the interest of consumer. These are the Consumer Protection Act 1986, the Contract Act 1982, the Sale of Goods Act 1930, the Essential Commodities Act 1955, the Agricultural Produce Grading and Marking Act 1937, the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954, the Standard of Weights and Measures Act 1976, the Trademark Act 1999, the Competition Act 2002, and the Bureau of Indian Standard Act 1986. Ways and means of consumer protection. These include self-regulations by business, business associations, consumer awareness, consumer organizations, and government. Consumer Protection Act 1986. The Consumer Protection Act 1986 lays down the rights of consumers and provides protection of the rights of the consumer. It has enabled ordinary consumer to secure less expensive and often speedy redressal of their grievances. The Act mandates establishment of consumer protection councils of the center as well as in each state and district with a view to promote consumer awareness. Consumer rights. Government of India has provided the following rights to all the consumers under the Consumer Protection Act: right to safety, right to information, right to choice, right to be heard or right to representation, right to seek redressal, and right to consumer education. Responsibilities of a consumer. These are: consumer must exercise his right. Consumer must get full information of the goods. Filing complaints for the redressal of genuine grievances. Consumer must be quality conscious. Do not get carried away by advertisements. And insist on cash memo. Circumstances when the complaints can be filed. Complaints can be filed for fraudulent practices, if goods are defective, and if there is any deficiency in the services hired. Redressal forums to deal with consumer grievances. District Consumer Dispute Redressal Forum, District Forum. State Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, State Commission. And National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, National Commission. Remedies available to a consumer. These include removal of defects from the goods, replacement of the defective goods, refund of the price, compensation of loss, discontinuance of unfair trade practices, stopping the sale of hazardous goods, withdrawal of hazardous goods, payment of adequate cost to aggrieved party, to issue corrective advertisement, and to pay adequate cost to appropriate party. Role of consumer organizations. These are bringing out brochures, journals, etc., spreading consumer awareness, collecting data of different products and testing them, arrange seminar, conferences for the purpose of focusing on the problems of consumers, encouraging the consumers to boycott the goods of bad quality, advise consumers for the legal rights, and fights for the customers at different levels.